Alright,
Ready?
good to go.
Hi everyone, my name's Kate Donovan from Blackstone Valley Veggie Gardens. We have some beautiful sensory gardens here. And you know, there's always some extra work here, especially in New England, that we have to do in order to put these plants down. You know, put your garden down and prepare for a long winter's nap. So I'm looking at this one first, and this is the site garden. It's very colorful, as you can see. A lot of these plants, I believe, probably the majority of them are annual plants. The especially beautiful and easy ones to produce or reproduce would be the coleus. Coleus is a perennial plant, however, it's not perennial in our zone. We're in zone 6B. So what I suggest that people do, if you want to keep these plants, is you dig them up, pot them, and replant them next year. However, you also have a whole lot, I did that by mistake, a lot of seed that goes on, and you can actually, you know, pick them off and see if that seed is ready. Oops, I didn't do that on purpose, sorry about that. You can see if the seed looks like it's starting to get ripe. There's one there. Yeah, I believe that might be one. I'm not sure about that, but in any case, there's a lot of seed here, and you can save the seed for the coleus. Make sure you dry it out well on a paper towel, and then put them in a plastic bag. Keep them cool, dark, and dry, and you should be able to start them directly from seed outside in the spring, or you can start them inside and then transplant it. The interesting thing about coleus is they come in so many color varieties, and if you interplant different varieties in different colors of coleus and then save the seed, you never know what you're going to get. So there's so many different variations that you can be creating. The other thing about coleus is it's very, very easy to take it, clip it off, and I'm going to do one because we have so much, okay? So just to clip it off here, and then what you do is you take off the bottom leaves, and I'll tell you why. You take off the bottom leaves because everywhere you've taken them off, you create a little wound. And if you put that in water to there, you will actually sprout roots from that little wound. So if you do that and keep them in water for a few weeks until you see all the roots, you can transplant them into your garden in the spring, or if it's not warm enough, you can transplant them to a pot and keep them there until you can transplant them outside. If you want to, it's also a nice house plant. So they're quite lovely. Yeah. So those are a few things to do with your coleus. Hello, how are you? So these, I believe, are all annuals. I don't see really anything coming to seed, but I did bring something, and I'm going to leave something with the library, okay? So these, if you do get some of these flowers, other than, these as well, once they're cool, dark, and dry, you know, I mean, once you dry them out on a paper plate, you can put them in the glass, write the name of the type of flower, and you'll have those in these nice little baby food jars that somebody gave me. Okay. So another thing is, since most of this bed has to be cleared out, I believe these are annuals as well. This as well. Once you clear the bed out, there's a few things that you can do. I'm an organic gardener, not just because I grow food, but because the pollinators have a rough go of it, so I like to be kind to them. So because of that, once the bed is empty, or even if it's partially empty, I usually give the beds a good dose of compost. You probably don't compost, but there may be you can get the Black Cow or one of those from the store, although they cost like $6 and something for a bag, or you can get one from one of your local suppliers here in town. I'm sure they'll give you a good discount. And what you do is you each time, each season, you give your bed at least 2 inches of the new compost. And then on top of that, if you want to keep the bed weed free, because even though these beds are deep, few weeds are going to grow up. There are weed seeds that are going to blow in. Because of that, you may want to put some mulch on top of the beds. Now what I use for beds is not the black mulch or the bright red mulch. I actually use shredded straw. You can get it in a bale. Or you can use chopped up leaves. I know maybe it doesn't look quite as pretty, but it's more nutritious, and eventually that turns to compost and goes right back into the environment, so you don't have any waste. And that's the way we do things. We replenish the earth, and then the earth replenishes the plants and keeps going. Beautiful circle of life. So that's this plant. This one, I believe, as I say, by the end of the year, you can have this plant all the way cleaned out. The only thing you're going to hold on to is these if you want to repot them. You can also save the seed, and you can also take cuttings to propagate new plants. Any questions about this bed?
None at this time, no.
All right. Let's go to this one here. This is a very interesting, I can't keep my hands off it. I know I'm not a kid, but that's okay. This is a silver mound. This is a penta. And this, I'm sorry, but I forget the name of it. This silver mound, in theory, can stay there all year. It is hardy in our zone. The other two plants, the one that's succulent-like and this penta, cannot stay all year because it's going to freeze and they don't like it. Now most plants, not all. Hens and chicks are actually succulents, and so are prickly pears, right? But when you see a leaf like this, right, and you see how thick it is, that is a plant that's meant for a drought. So the leaf actually absorbs all the liquid in that it can, and holds onto it during times of heat. However, if you have a plant, most succulent type of plants, when the freeze comes, the leaf with all that water in it freezes and it's too heavy and it kills the plant. That's why we have very few succulents that keep growing in our area. So at the end of the season, leave this as long as you can, this penta, because I have seen some beautiful humble bumbles buzzing around here, so they tend to like it, which is a good thing. So at the end of the season, you can leave this here. You can cut it back if you want. It will grow back, this silver mound. But these, you'll have to either let them die, or you'll have to pot them and bring them in. And once you have these out, same thing. If you can get some compost, I have some. You can have Gina, whoever, talk to me about it. It's very inexpensive from me because I buy a whole bunch of composted horse manure. It doesn't smell though. So anyway, you can take those out, give it a little bit of compost, and put some mulch on it to keep it nice. Anytime you have perennials, you should keep some mulch on it to keep it nice. So as I say, at the end of the season, you can keep this. Those other two you'll have to remove. Mulch over and recompost and mulch over. Do you have questions about this?
I did have one question. What will be the best indication for me that the season is over and that I should be getting the beds ready? Is there because they say before the first frost, but...
Oh no, you keep looking on your... So you keep looking on your phone. And if you see that it's going to go down to 36 degrees, that's a maybe. If you see that it's going to go from 36, then the next day 34. A frost is 36 degrees. Mm-hmm. So really anything 36 and lower, that's a frost. That's going to kill your tender plants. So, and those phones are great. my grandfather, I learned gardening from my grandfather, and he was born in 1897. And they didn't have phones back then, so they had to always err on the side of caution. So they were always really late to the game. But we don't have to be. But the whole thing is, if you let the plant go to, if you see that coming, even this one, you know that you have to take it in or what have you. But if you don't want to take it in, but it has seed on it, that's when you know you can harvest the seed from it. I do have a presentation on the life cycle of seeds. If you want, I can send it to you. I may have a video on it as well. So, and this is the touch.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope, not at this time. I'm just going to pause and restart a new video.
Oh, good.